Well, I thought I'd do a quick toolbox tour. I got this new toolbox, and now that I'm done with the LBZ conversion, most of my tools are back in it. So, well, for the first time, they're in it. So, well, this toolbox is a Master Force from Menards. It's the 72-inch version. I'm still figuring out how to best lay stuff out in here. I wasn't too thrilled about having all my screwdrivers in one drawer. I know a lot of people don't mind that. They prefer that, especially in a deep drawer. I don't want to have to reach down in. It's first world problems, but you know, it is what it is. I like the shallow drawers, and I like them in their individual drawer, kind of like these ones. Yeah, whoops, not that one. Like these ones, pretty nice. But I got Phillips, obviously standard, and some safety bits and stuff that Dad let me have. I guess he's got some more of them or some new ones or something. This little thing came with this guy. And I swear, this guy's like my 10mm meme, you know? Oh, where's my 10 mil? I can never find my 10 mil. Yeah, well, this is like my 10 mil, this little guy. Handiest little bugger. I think this is one of my most favorite tools. I tell you what. Getting a screwdriver head in a real tight spot, Torx bit, whatever, man. It's just, oh my gosh, that is one handy little bugger. And then I got my Torx screwdrivers, battery wrench, my writing utensils, magnets, some picks. I think there's supposed to be 4 of these. I've had these since I first started getting tools, so I've lost a couple of them or broke them or something. I think there's 4 of those, or maybe 3 of these, 4 of those, and I'm lucky to have all 4 of those. And I've got another one of these, but it's in my soldering kit, and still working on the Allen wrench stuff. I'll show you like what Dad's got for Allen wrenches. It's pretty nice. I wish I had some like that just because they're on handles. You know, those are standard ones though. They're not, or SAE, however you want to say it. The next big drawer: hammers and pry bars and breaker bars. One nice big breaker bar. A little rusty. It's been sitting on the floor here since I moved here. But yeah, just a few hammers, only a couple BFHs. I need to get, I don't know, probably one with a lot bigger, heavier head or something to be nice. But I definitely needed the bigger pry bar, thicker one. It's definitely come in handy quite a lot. And Dad's biggest one's maybe just a hair longer than this one. And I was like, I need a bigger one. So next one is pliers. I'm still finding all my pliers because this sucker was packed full. I was trying to get away from having to stack stuff, but it is what it is. I can't get away from it. But I've got, you know, a smaller set of these, and those are the PEX ring pliers that I haven't used yet. Thought I was going to use them, didn't end up needing them for the project, so unfortunately. And this is pretty handy for hose clamps on trucks and stuff, those spring ones, so that's pretty handy. I have broken one of those already though, so and I got that at Sears. Good luck finding that anymore. And got some hose pliers. Grab a rubber hose or something and give her a little wiggle. So, and then hose clamp off pliers so you can squish the hose, keep stuff from gushing out while you're working. As much, it might drip, but it keeps it from gushing. So, and these are handy dart pullers, as well as different dart pullers, just a slight angle and a right angle. These ones, you know, they just, oh my gosh, wheel well darts, I just can't stand them. They're freaking pain in the ass all the time. Then you get a peek at this one. This one's my measuring and leveling stuff. It's pretty simple. My manual drawer, as well as tape drawer, I guess. Got the Duramax manual, Honda Accord manual, because I had a 96. I had got this because of Mom's '01 Passat, and then my North Star, my 2001 Seville I had. So, and then my John Deere for the lawn tractor, tool chest, and then my neighbor had golf carts, and so I have one of their golf cart manuals. So in here we have goodies. The bigger goodies, you got vacuum pump, zip ties. This is like a brad nailer. This is more or less mechanical diagnostic repair stuff, other than there's Harbor Freight's crappy AC gauges and a tap and die set. I tried to keep more mechanical diagnostic stuff in one drawer, but this is my torque wrench stuff. I must be missing some tools down at my grandpa's yet, because I have a tie rod, a big tie rod wrench for the Duramax tie rods. That sucker's a big one. This one's for the Pitman arm gearbox bolt, or nut, I should say. So 1 5/16, definitely very nice to have, and I got a pretty good deal on that because I had points at Sears while they were still open. And this brand, CDI, apparently is one of the companies that makes snap-on torque wrenches, something along them lines. And I can tell you, it's pretty freaking slick. I mean, this thing moves smooth as butter. And I've had a cheap one. I think this guy was around $50 at Craftsman, or Sears, whatever. And the head needs a shim because the head wobbles up and down, and it doesn't engage the teeth properly. It skips a lot and jams up and whatnot. So if I could shim that, it'd be a secondary one, probably keep in the trailer or something. But this is my main go-to when doing stuff. I mean, you got your inch pounds, and I think that's another inch pound. Or maybe that's a small foot pound, I don't remember. But I've used the inch pound for Duramax, like the injectors or something along them lines. Valve cover bolts and stuff. So this is the air tool drawer. Air tools. I got an Ingersoll. I started with Craftsman. It's not bad. The Ingersoll definitely just freaking creams that thing though. And this, I think, was a reman in a brand new box on the store shelf, labeled as brand new. Got it home, and I could tell the way the sticker was on. It was kind of worn a little bit. And I was like, you gotta be kidding. I like this one. Like, I don't use this thing because it is just louder than loud. I can't stand how loud it is. But you can see that sticker. I haven't used this hardly at all, and it's like it was partly used, brand new in the box, you know? It's like, that's fantastic. I'm paying brand new prices for reman stuff. But all Harbor Freight frickin' garbage. I call those the ticklers because none of them actually hammer anything. They just tickle. And I'm lucky I've gotten one. Actually, one of these, this one, the ProMate, or PowerMate XVX, is from Merchant Automotive. They sent this with it, or I paid extra for it, so you can get the glow plugs out of your Duramax. So that and that for like $60 or something, and they said this is the tools we use in our shop, and I'm like, really? Because it looks like a Harbor Freight. Not sure I want to take my truck there. So they're using Harbor Freight tools. This one's the specialty tool drawer. Axle nut sockets. That is a like stripped bolt remover that I got. It was like $65 from Craftsman, and it's just that is the biggest freaking waste of money I have ever spent. They do not work. They will not bite onto the bolt. Instead of biting when you go to reverse, it just pops off every time. It doesn't matter how hard you're pushing, impact, nothing. It won't stay on. It won't bite. I've tried multiple sizes. I don't know if that's like a reverse thread, like you're supposed to bite on for a reverse thread or what. That'd be my guess. But that was the biggest waste of money I've ever spent. We got an inner tie rod tool we bought, Mayhew Pro. That works good. Then you get a boost tester for the Duramax. I bought that on eBay, BRP. That works pretty good so far. Harbor Freight ball joint tie rod separator, whatever you want it to be. Got a tie rod separator there from Harbor Freight. That actually works pretty freaking slick. I wish they made a bigger version of it for pickups, because it doesn't always work on some of the thicker knuckles and stuff. I just had to exchange this Pitman arm puller because it had spread out too much. That was just going to pop off. So, but that's my second one of those. And then I had to get this because I had boogered up the threads in Mom's O2 sensor on her 01 Passat, so I had to get one of those. I'm surprised O'Reilly's even had one of them. So, and then pry tools for seals and stuff. Most of them I've gotten from Harbor Freight. I think I've gotten one from somewhere else. I don't remember. Oh, valve spring compressor, if y'all don't know what that is. That's when we did the head gaskets. We did valve seals and stuff. When we were assembling the heads. Gear pullers I haven't used. I've used the stud installer once. Dent pullers from Harbor Freight. Yeah, I bought a lot of Harbor Freight tools in the beginning, and most of them are gone, or I just couldn't stand to return them. These I haven't hardly used because I prefer those ones more, and I'm missing one down at Grandpa's somewhere. But this one, it's more mismatch, whatever. I bought a wood lathe from my neighbor, and he gave me the wood lathe chisel stuff, and he also gave me this massive gear puller that I've tried to use multiple times for multiple different stuff, and it's too big or too small, or well, it's mainly too big. And then this one he gave me as well, I can't, it's too small, you know. I've either got too big or too small, and it's just right. I haven't found one that's just right. And obviously my SKs, which I just put in here, and they're already freaking flying off. One thing, they don't clip in there, they just sit in there. Those are nice. That goes from 8 mil to 19 mil. I love them. Those are nice because they're 6-point ratcheting heads, and they've got like 4 different mechanisms up there that you get a really fine arc, does it say? 1.7 degree arc swing. Frickin' rights, man. Oh, those are my go-to, I tell you. And I started out with gear wrench ones. Paid like $112 or something for... I'll show you them. They're in my other tool thing. This one I'm still filling up. Pry tools, tape measures, my work gloves. Either too hot or too cold with some work gloves, you know. I gotta grab stuff hot, or, you know, stuff's too cold, you know. So, pry bars, chisels, punches, wire brushes, and the gasket scrapers and stuff. So I've got that drawer pretty well utilized. This is my pack of stuff. Snap rings, copper washers for brakes, which does not stay closed, and they're all mismatched. You know, they just fly around on the inside of there. That's wonderful. PTO pins, hose clamps that are trash, more trash hose clamps, and some more. What are those? I don't think these are mine. I think these are Dad's. Well, maybe they're not. Maybe some of the spring clamps and stuff. But yeah, Harbor Freight and whatchamacallit, Northern Tool. I was thinking maybe Northern Tool will be better. They look nicer, but they're so stiff that you almost can't even turn them with a freaking screwdriver. It pisses me off. I like the OEM ones, you know, that are butter smooth. You can move with your finger. That is freaking nice. So I bought a massive socket kit from Sears website of all the... You know, it's got Phillips sockets, standard sockets, SAE, Allen, or whatever you want to call them. Those are 1/4 inch. These are 1/2 or 3/8, and SAE metric, and those ones are Torx. I've got triple squares from when I was working on my brother's Passat 06, and then I've got E-Torx, which are really nice and come in handy. You need the 14 for doing seat bolts on a Silverado, and then this you needed to do take the head bolts off of an 01 Passat. Isn't that nice? You got to use that massive long thing to get at a head bolt because they're way down in the little bitty valley. This is more of the mechanical, pardon the crunching. This is more of the mechanical diagnostic stuff. This one I just kind of set in here because I don't have a better organization yet. These are crow feet. Those are nice. Metric. I love metric. Don't frickin' harp on me for liking metric. Annoyed light set. This is used for testing injectors, coil packs. It'll flash when the wiring gets the signal, or not flash when it doesn't. So those are really handy. I used that when my uncle gave me that flaming turd expedition. That's a previous video if y'all want to take a look at that. My Harbor Freight camera scope thing. I needed one, and that was the cheapest one around. It works, but by golly, you can hardly see anything on the screen. This is like I think they call it a seal driver kit. This I got at Harbor Freight, and this I'm surprised is actually pretty decent. But yeah, a seal driver kit. You can use that stuff on the press and stuff for wheel bearings and whatnot. Probably not supposed to, but it works. So double whammy there. And then I've got my ball joint press here. And down there, well, here's my hub shocker for getting stuck hub assemblies out. And the nuts, they're pretty much just like universal lug nut, different sizes and whatnot for different vehicles. Brake disc, disc brake tool servicing for like compressing the piston on the caliper and stuff. So that's pretty handy. But so I got that at AutoZone, the Noid light kit. And I lost one of my magnets. Oh, there we go. So I bought in a few parts on Rock Auto. This probably isn't even all of them either. Just a few of them. I feel like that's a lot less than there was. So this is my other tool kit, or tool chest. This is what I got to roll right up to vehicles to work on them. Top drawer's kind of a mess. I don't even know what happened to the 3/8 for the deep sockets, the holder, but or is that it right there? That's it right there. Dang, I've been looking for that, and it's been right there the whole freaking time. Dear Lord, oh, it's like sometimes I need better glasses or something, I tell you. I've been missing a lot of stuff lately. But need your Sharpies to write on stuff, that's for sure. More deep sockets. These are specialty ones. You guys are going to love these. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait for it. Yeah, I think that's got used all once. And I think my brother got me that for my birthday or something. I was just like, yeah. Tried it, didn't work. Sorry. You know, so I think that's just a cheapy flashlight and no special brand or whatever. This is where all the magic tools are stored. The goodies. This is one of those gearless ratchets. Found that at Sears. That's pretty nice. No slop. And then this is my most favorite ratchet of all. This is a Stanley. Call it the nightstick or something, I don't know, because it extends. And my gosh, the amount of torque you can put on that sucker, well worth it. Holy Hannah. This is my broken one. I mean, I don't know how much abuse I frickin' gave it, but it's got a crack in the shaft. There you go, a little bit. And I actually got one of these because I saw Harbor Freight had one. Super slim, 1/4 inch, 3/8 on one end. It doesn't lock, unfortunately, but it's super slim for getting in those really tight places. So, and it hasn't broken yet, but it does flex quite a bit. So I'm waiting for the day that does break. But, yeah. Then I got some wobble extensions mixed in here as well. But, I mean, there's not a lot I can't do. 1/4 inch long one. I don't have as many as Dad, trust me. But my 1/2 inch stuff, impact sockets. That's pretty much what my original tool kit came with. My very first tool kit came in one of them carrying cases. A pretty big one. I think it was almost 300 pieces. I got that, oh my gosh, probably almost 15 years ago or more. It's pretty crazy. I'm only 24, and 15 years ago was a long ass time, but that was when I got my first tool set. And some of these wrenches came in there, the metric and standard stuff. I've since put them on holders and whatnot, and I just don't have room for another holder for all my bigger ones, 15s, 16s, 19s, 20s, all that good stuff. And I got those at Harbor Freight. Those are actually pretty handy. I needed that for the torque converter bolts on my Seville. That was fun. Not bad, but whatever. This is my first ratcheting wrench set, gear wrench. 32 piece. I think it was like 112 bucks at the time. I was like, frick yeah, I need one. I'm missing my 15 in there somewhere. I'm still putting tools away that I'm finding in random places. But I'm still trying to figure out. I just rearranged this so that these are here instead of in the bottom drawer. As we open up the bottom drawer, we got both my earthquakes, the 3/8 and the 1/2 inch Dremel, and these are torque sticks. I think these are Harbor Freight as well, but they work. They get it in a relative closeness to what torque lug nuts and stuff need to be in, so that's pretty handy, and it's surprisingly heavy. And I just got this with my 3/8 pneumatic Harbor Freight earthquake there. It's really handy to have, especially if you need to throw something in the truck quick, go do something, you know. Metric set of sockets for the 3/8. Not that the 3/8 is all that powerful, not even close to the 1/2 inch from Harbor Freight. It's kind of disappointed, but you know, it makes sense that the 1/2 inch would have a lot more power. Otherwise, why not just get the 1/2 inch or the 3/8 or whatever's cheapest. But that's pretty much my tools. My jack, and then I've just got random. This is a mess, but power tools. So my DeWalt's, they've been good to me. I have no complaints about my DeWalt's. And then the cabinets haven't changed much since when I was in Michigan. Got my fluids and stuff. And then this one usually has my jack stands, my big massive ones in there. And then that one's got some of Dad's jack stands and some oils for some random reason. So, but yeah, more jack stands. Actually, those ones are mine. And work light, that came in handy quite a bit. My hose reel that we're gonna put in place of his, because I don't like his as much. Well, it's not even a reel. What else? Oh, my detailing stuff. Like I said, when stuff hasn't changed too much from when I moved from Michigan. I mean, there's not a lot I can't do. Yeah, it's one of them things that might have enough knowledge to be dangerous, you know. So a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Yeah, so I just started trying this stuff out for y'all. So using this the whole time I was doing the LBZ conversion. It works pretty dang good. It smells a whole lot like liquid wrench though. But it actually works pretty doggone well. I have not had... I think there's maybe one bolt I couldn't get off. It just ended up snapping. Actually, most of the manifold bolts on the up pipes, the bottom of the up pipe, back of the manifolds, they just all snapped off on the LBZ. I don't know why. That's the first engine I've had do that. Both LLYs that we've, you know, Dad's original LLY and then the new LLY engine. All the manifold bolts came right out with no problem. The up pipe bolts, I should say. But I got my interior paint that I've been using to convert like the Escalade interior, medium dark pewter. This is the wrong color, so don't take that. Can't remember. No, that's the right color, I think. Medium neutral. Yeah. So I think I've got a wrong. This is the wrong color here. Wrong tan. I don't know that it says. I can't get it in the shot. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't say a color on it, I guess. But yeah, I think it did at one point. Oh, there it is. A medium dark neutral, and you need medium neutral. So that's the wrong color. Got John Deere color up in there, and I've just got plenty of medium dark pewter because I got lots of stuff I need to paint yet. Then I had this for my Seville, the red truck, Seville. Whoops. Now I hit the floor. Clear coat, black stuff I was using to paint the rockers on the LBZ. You know, I just got a lot of stuff. A lot of nice to have stuff. Oh, an arch oil for my next oil change. I've been putting that in the Duramax lately, so plenty of stuff. Plenty of stuff. And tons of crap on top, of course. So, my goodness. I gotta sort through all this stuff. Came out of my old tool chest and whatnot, so I gotta sort through. Most of it's nuts and bolts and peanut butter jars and stuff. But yeah, just figured I'd give you guys fairly quick, semi decent, I don't know, what did I say? What did I call it? Tool chest overview, something or other. We can go through Dad's. His isn't. He's gathered a lot of stuff over the years. He doesn't mind having all his screwdrivers in one drawer. Kind of whatever. It works for him. Of course, I don't have a story of his tools, so it's just an open and show you. 1/4 inch, 3/8. He's got a lot of extensions. I need some like this, man. I really do. I tell you, would have come in handy a lot for the LBZ stuff. 1/2 inch, plenty of that stuff to go around. I mean, of course, you know, it's almost double my age. He's almost triple my age, kinda. So, pry bars, breaker bars, you name it. Laser thermometer. Is that a Harbor Freight? No, that's a Craftsman. So that works pretty good. That came in handy when I was diagnosing the catalytic converter on our Honda and on the Cadillac. These are his pliers, I think. I sure hope he's got more than that. That's kind of pathetic. Standard or SAE wrenches and stuff. Lots of them. Crow's feet are nice to have, that is for sure. Punches, guess he hasn't figured out how to fill that one up yet. Hammers, oil filter wrenches, you know, ball joint tie rod separators, tie rod, and his Dremel, some diagnostic stuff, pins and gloves, and he uses gloves. I call it, you know, they're called bitch mittens is what I've heard, so you know, if your hands aren't getting black just from putting your tools away, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. Torque stuff, picks and whatnot, and some Allen stuff. I don't understand his organization, but it is what it is. It's definitely better than what he had. That is for sure. Specialty stuff, I guess. I don't even know what these are. I don't know what they are. Spring lock coupler tool. Interesting. Okay. Chintzy plastic. I don't know what the frick that is. Anyway. He just got these for his birthday or Christmas or something from my uncle. And Scotch lock stuff. Those are nice for resurfacing rotors. That is nice. And that we just got not too long ago too. For pistons on calipers, just like he's got the service tool as well. Let me go down this side, and he just got this. Torques and safety torques and e-torque, so handy dandy manny. And he's getting into knife sharpening, so there was a knife sharpening stone. Metric wrenches and stuff, so whoopity-doo. Some specialty stuff, I guess. Flywheel socket for the Duramax. Deep well stuff that you needed or something. 12 point. I don't remember what the frick that was for. His air tool stuff. He's got a lot of Ingersoll stuff. That sucker's probably older than me. Ingersoll. And that sucker, I remember being a kid and just being scared of that thing. It sounds so incredibly mean. And I remember the one time when I was younger, he's just like, don't play with it, it might break your wrist. And I was like, what? No way. Yeah, it's pretty frickin' mean, I tell you what. And that sucker's been going longer than mine. A lot longer, obviously. And just use the air hammer for doing the torsion bar tools. And those were his impact sockets in the red thing. His ball joint tool, I think he's got 2 ball joint kits. And his buffer and stuff, so... and exhaust spreader and a big old frickin' pipe wrench. So, but leaf springs are still for sale, sitting here waiting, and my Cadillac Escalade steering wheel out of a 9902. What steering wheel switches and a complete wire harness, unmolested. So, at a nice tight intermediate shaft. So $60 for that, and I think it was $375 for the leaf springs. So come get them. Less than 6 months on the leaf springs. Those have been big jacks, stands, and soldering kit, and I'm becoming quite the soldering pro. I don't know that I'll ever really get into welding, but I could tell you soldering is definitely something I can handle. That is for sure. Plenty of frickin' stuff to diagnose. And I started out with a Craftsman soldering gun. Actually, I started with this first, the Weller soldering butane pen, and that just would not do for the gauge of wire I was doing, so that's when I picked up this Craftsman. But you cannot find tips for it, the factory Craftsman tips. And oh my gosh, because of that, you can't even find them online. So I went and bought a Weller, which is a little bit more powerful, and it is definitely build quality a lot better. And you can actually find tips pretty much everywhere you go for it. So definitely nice. And I got all these at Menards as well. I think I've gone through this once before on another video, but since we're going through the toolbox, I might as well go through what I've been using pretty much every single day. I've got this metal plate in here to set my little wire holders for soldering. Fuses, wire taps and probes, heat shrink, more paste, and crimpers and strippers, and oh yeah, and then all my bits that are on drawer slides, which is nice, and they all interlock. You can take them off, whatnot, if you want to. So definitely worth having. I get paid all 40-50 bucks for all three of those, and oh, how much money I've put into freaking soldering. But like I said, I've been soldering pretty much every day between doing the Escalade swap interior and the LBZ stuff, which that is complete. So the LBZ conversion. So, and then we got this toy that we're working with, and ramps, creepers. Dad got one of them topside creeper things, but I can't do that. I don't know, my chest muscles do not handle being bent over stuff like that anymore. So, and then spare wiring for the pins and connectors and whatever else. It's just handy to have. So I really hope that helps kind of put into perspective some of the tools I got. There's not much I can't do. There's really not. My hydraulic press is in the trailer, and yeah, I can do pretty much everything and anything I set my heart to, and that ends up being quite a bit, seeing as I just put an LBZ and an LLY, and just for a crew cab, and put a whole new front end on it, and the rear end's been done, front disk's been done. So yeah, we put a lot of time, money, and effort into just having a crew cab. I just got my bug guard, so from WeatherTech. I think I like theirs best. Their bug guards, so it helps be a little bit more masculine. And not much on the interior yet. Still working on it. Still got to get the seats to match the beige, but you know, I've only had the truck at the house for only what two days now, so working on it one piece at a time. And yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed my little toolbox tour, and you know, let me know what you think, and if you guys recommend any specialty tools that I don't have yet. I definitely would like to get more tools, because why the frick not? So got more space now, more organization. Definitely comes in handy having space to grow. The old tool chest just wasn't doing it anymore for me, so of course a lot of that was full of junk, like the frickin' peanut butter containers and stuff. Yeah, screw that. And anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment what you guys think, any other tools you guys think I should have, and we shall see about adding them to the arsenal. Appreciate you guys watching. God bless.